Hi guys, Joseph here. Today we're doing another Joseph car video, and today we're going to be showing you how to repaint your wiper arms. So in this case we're doing it on my 2002 V70, but really it'll work on any wiper, flat blade, hooked blade, any type of wiper arm, it'll work. So let's get over to the car right now. Right guys, to remove the wiper, depends on the make and model car you have. Some may have a cover, some might be one just cover over the nut, but this one's actually a big cover that actually on a hinge. But you can pull it off if you pull it at an angle. And that's held in by a nut. Some might, the nut's not always going to be the same size. Some cars might have a tab at the bottom that you need to pull out to lift the arm off. So it depends on the make and model vehicle that you have, or depend on the wiper arm that your vehicle has. So but in this case it is a nut. And on this Volvo it's a 13mm, but it won't always be the same. Hold the arm, you don't want to stress the... Right. If you haven't had your wiper off for a long time, it may be stuck on here. See if this one's frozen on. No, this one isn't frozen on. And don't spring your nut off like I just did. Yeah, don't lose a nut, so maybe shred it. Right guys, that's that wiper arm off. But if it doesn't come off, I find wiper arm pullers rubbish, guys. I've never actually been successful in using a wiper arm puller. What I normally use is a ball joint puller. You leave the nut threaded on, and then you'll gradually tighten the ball joint puller against the stud, and it will pop the wiper off. Don't do it with the nut off, because then it could fall off. So yeah. So now all you do is you'll repeat on the other side. Depends what make and model car you have, will depend on the procedure it takes to remove your wiper. But this is my type. I'm going to go quickly remove the other one. Loosening off. No, that's frozen on. That one is stuck. I'm just gonna go and grab a puller quick. Right guys, on this one, for this puller, this is a ball joint puller. It requires a 24mm socket, and all you do is you basically put this over the wiper arm that you intend to remove, center it with the nut, and that's it. You've centered that in the center of the nut. Never fully remove it, so you don't want the wiper to come flying off when it does remove. And now all you do is you start pinching up. There you go. That's all it took with this puller. That's literally, and it saves you sitting there yanking it about, and there's a risk of you breaking the wiper mechanism if you do it that way. There you go, off it comes. If you're really fussy on where you want your wipers to sit, you might want to make them up. Some wiper arms that you have a keyway, so you can only put them on one way. But if you're not sure, make sure they're actually in a parked position before removing. And if you really fuss on the actual position, maybe use a tape mark to put them on in the same position. I don't actually care where mine sit. So yeah. So there you go. We're actually going to just take these into the back garden. Right guys, I'm now in my back garden. Before we spray these, we want to remove the blade. So yes, we don't want to spray our wiper blades. If you're not sure, make sure you keep them in the same order so you remember which side's which. I know that the bigger one goes on the shorter arm, takes the bigger blade. So yeah, just remember which side's which. Especially you have two, both wiper arms are not going to be the same length as each other. Obviously the passenger one has a slight bend in it to conform to the dash. So now I'm going to get this hung up. I'll show you. So right, there's a few little rough areas that we're going to want to sand down. You just want to rough it, that's all. There's no need to get all the paint off it before you lacquer it. We use a primer on it, so that's what we're going to quickly do. Just going to go and get these hung up. Right guys, so before we spray these, I want to give them a little rough up. So I'm just doing the passenger arm first. We don't really need to do too much rough. We just want to scratch them a little bit, that's all. All we're doing is just making the surface smooth. Yeah, that was rough there. A little bit of roughness. Didn't really need that much rubbing. Don't have to be too fussed at the bottom, because all this will get sprayed, because we're going to do both sides. That's literally it. That's that wiper arm done. There's never normally that much rough area on it. Just going to give them a quick rub down. You don't want to use a too coarse sandpaper either. This doesn't need very coarse stuff. You can't really get it in there very well, but that's literally it. Now all you want to do is just rub the dust off of your hands. Not very dusty. Let's get all the dust off. If you think it's just dust free enough, that should do. Be ready for paint. There ain't that much of the prep step really. But now I'm gonna go and get these hung up ready for spraying. Right guys, now we're gonna just give these a quick spray. It doesn't actually need that much of a coat. That's literally it. It doesn't need much spraying. That was a mistake. That's a bad mistake. That's literally it. That's it. And yeah, I think that was a little bit of a mistake, but I think it'll be alright. So yes, keep as a consistent distance is the lesson here. Actually, let's not have a great camera today. Overly thick this too much now. So there you go. I'll just let that dry and then I'll assess it. Right guys, people might say this one's a little bit overkill, but I'm actually going to spray the plastic covers. So all you need to do is try and keep a consistent distance. And then just repeat on the other side. That's it. Don't go too harsh, and that's about it. Now you just let that dry. And I'm just going to go and repeat the other one. Right guys, I've left these wiper arms 15 minutes to dry, and now you'll feel for your imperfections. Whatever imperfections you feel here now, I can feel one here. Now, whatever imperfection you feel, you'll rub down a bit, smooth it off. Because whatever imperfections you leave here now, you're going to see that through the paint. There's a little one there. You want to use quite a fine paper. I'm using an old, used up, coarse one, but it's not actually coarse anymore. So now what you're going to do is just give it a little smoother. And that was it. Just all the little imperfections. That's the only imperfection my one had. There's a few little rough pieces here. Just going to quickly rub it. And now when you're satisfied, and that was the only rough bit. So really, that wasn't much. The other one I have checked, and there is no imperfections on the other one, so I'm pretty lucky. So now, I'm just going to wipe all the dust off it. This is where you could... I'm going to spray mine black. Other colour, well, it's not going to look right. So I think you might want to spray them blue, spray them green. Well, it's not going to look right. Typically, your wiper blades are black. So you have a blue arm. It's going to devalue your vehicle. It's up to you, though, at the end of the day. Whatever colour you want to spray yours. But I would stick to the OEM colour. So now... this is where your focus needs to be. So I'm going to stay focused here, because I don't want to mess this up. This is my only chance here, guys. So now, you just do it in light coats. No, it's running too much there, but it should be alright. I'll rub the run out in a minute. Now you just do the side. Do light coats, so don't do... So yeah, you do it in all light coats and just repeat it on the back as well. So wait 15 minutes for that to dry, and if you need to go over again, I'm going to do in a couple of coats. I've got a fix, I'll just rub that down. I'm going to quickly do my other one and then we'll pause. Right guys, it's been 15 minutes, we've let it dry, now you're going to look over your wiper and actually there it could do with a spray. Check that it's dry. because any mistakes now is where you can actually correct them. So there I've gone a little thick. Maybe I'll be able to dust that with a second coat. Nothing really missed. I will go over them with a slight second. This, oh yes, I forgot to go in there, so I will spray in. This is where you can actually correct any of the mistakes you've made. There isn't actually very much on the first coat. Little bit of a touch up there. And then yes, that's it. So I'm just going to do the same again. You can do this in multiple coats to get this right. With this, you don't go too fast and you don't go too slow. You don't want to go too fast or too slow. So like this. And that's where my issue was. And I think that's actually it for this. And just a bit up the top. That's it. I think that's actually that one done. So I'm going to wait 15 minutes and I'll make my decision whether I'm going to actually leave it at that. Right guys, I've ended up doing 3 coats on my wiper arms. I've got them black enough to what I would like. Now I'm just going to go and grab my wiper arm off the washing line. Right, here we go. Got it off, and now all you got to do, guys, is actually refit your wiper arm to the blade. And then I'm just gonna I'm gonna go off and install this. I want to actually do this. I don't want to damage them, so I'm gonna take this one to the car. Right, guys. Now I've got a wiper. I'm actually gonna do this carefully because I don't want to mark this. Now we've just freshly painted this. So now what you'll do is I'm going to be careful to fit mine because I have just freshly painted. Here we go. That's looking good already, so I'm just going to go and grab a 13mm socket and ratchet to snug that up. Right guys, I've just grabbed my that's it, just make them nice and snug, and then I'm going to go and grab the cover, and yeah, which one's which? It's this one, I think. Yeah. That looks so good. That does. Just wait, go and get the other one. I'm just going to go and grab the other wiper. Right guys, now I've got our passenger wiper. Just going to go and undo the nut. I've got to be careful, don't want to ruin these perfectly wipers. I'll be mad if I ruin these now. There we go. There we go. That's done. I'm just going to quickly pause, guys. Right, guys, we're going to end off this video, and the wipers are looking really good on the car. Been through a few rainstorms of it, quite a bit of rain, and the paint has stayed on. Still looking just as good as the day I sprayed them. And I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please give this video a thumbs up, as that helps YouTube recommend my content. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any content like this. Share this video with your family and your friends, and have a nice day.